Sure, yeah. So it's called the Scout Mindset. And it's about, so the framing metaphor of the book is this contrast between two different mindsets, Scout mindset and soldier mindset. Soldier mindset's basically my term for this mode that people are very often in, where when they're thinking about evidence, thinking about what's true and what they believe, they're actually just trying to defend some pre-existing belief or to defend some belief that they want to be true. And so it's called soldier mindset because what you're doing, often just unconsciously without even realizing it, is trying to defend your beliefs as if a fortress against attack. So you're trying to like shoot down opposing argument or like poke holes in your opponent's logic, and you're trying to like reach for evidence to buttress or support your own position instead of actually thinking about what's true. And so scout mindset is an alternative way of thinking in which, you know, a scout, unlike a soldier, his role is not to attack or defend, it's to go out and see what's actually there to the best of your abilities, and form as accurate a map of the situation or an issue as possible. And so in scout mindset, you're actually trying to figure out what is really true here. What is my honest best guess about the truth? That could be about your life, or you know, a career choice, or about some political issue. And so the book is about how and why to be more of a scout and less of a soldier. And I basically wrote it because I felt like in all of the conversations people were having about, you know, how to reason better or how to make better decisions, there was a lot of emphasis on giving people cognitive skills. Like, here's some knowledge about 101 cognitive biases and logical fallacies. And it's not that that's not valuable, but I felt like there needed to be a lot more focus on the motivation with which you use those skills. Because you can have all of the knowledge, you can have like memorized all of the cognitive biases and logical fallacies in the world, but if you're not motivated to actually turn that knowledge on yourself and try to figure out, you know, where's my own thinking biased or fallacious, and instead you're just that dude online who like comes equipped to every argument with a list of biases that he can use to like beat his opponents over the head with, your own thinking is not going to improve.
Right. So this is basically
the motivation to see things honestly and objectively is what I thought was really underappreciated.
This is basically just an indictment of the entire Western belief system, particularly when it comes to religion and politics, right?
Yeah, I mean, religion and politics are sort of two of the most susceptible topics to soldier mindset, just because they're so often like part of our identities. And so when someone disagrees with us about religion or politics, it's like, you know, we take it personally. It's like a personal attack, like they insulted our mom.
Well,
or,
I mean,
it's stomped on our country's flag or something.
Yeah, I think in the book you mentioned the commitment consistency effect, which is, in my opinion, I think is very similar to it's very similar to the IKEA effect, which is when somebody feels they have ownership in the development of something, whether it's a product or idea, they have like some kind of intrinsic emotional attachment to it. At that point, it becomes hard to separate reality from what they actually believe, right? It makes sense, right? I mean, that's what we do. We assign disproportionate value to beliefs that we've held longer or that somebody we respect holds without any intent to ever challenge that belief, right?
Right, yeah. Like even, I mean, politics and religion, there's some content there that I can understand why that tends to make us defensive or, you know, self-righteous or combative. But any belief, if you've had to defend it against, you know, attack, or if you've spent a long time trying to convince people of it or saying it publicly, it can just become part of your identity too, almost regardless of the content, because you've just sunk so much effort and time and, you know, reputation into defending it.
Right.
And so I've noticed, like, even in a single like meeting or argument, I might toss off an idea without even really thinking about it. And then people start arguing with me, and then I have to defend it because now it's like my belief. It's like Julia's view that we're all debating now, even if I didn't really think about it very much at first, and, you know, might not even really have had much reason to think it was true.
I mean, that certainly is compounded with time too, right?
Yeah.
And that's the consistency or commitment consistency effect. I think the example, I don't know if it was in the book or one of the videos I watched you, where you gave the example of you get up on Sunday morning and start driving to the grocery store. You get halfway there, realize it's closed, but continue the drive anyways because already started, and me as well, but that doesn't make any fucking sense. You know,
right. That was actually a video I did on the sunk cost fallacy, and I was using that sort of simple example as a way to sort of show how absurd our adherence to sunk costs can be. That like, obviously, if you knew the grocery store was closed, you wouldn't just keep driving to it, even though like, just because, well, I've already come this far, I don't want to waste my time or like, waste my past investment. But we do things like that in our lives in a slightly less obvious ways too, where we're like, well, I don't really want to, be a professor anymore, but I don't want to have wasted the 3 years I spent in grad school. So I guess I'll just finish and go into academia anyway, so that pastime won't have been wasted.
Right.